Hey everyone, Ben here. There's been so much madness in the market recently with regard to short selling, Reddit stocks, AMC, GameStop. We've seen so many crazy stocks which have poor fundamentals running up massively due to a short squeeze.
NASDAQ? That sounds delicious. I'll take two. Medium rare.
So what could be the next candidates for a potential short squeeze? Well, in this video, I've put together the most heavily shorted stocks in the stock market right now. These are stocks which are actually shorted for a reason. So when you short a stock, you're basically betting that the stock will go down. So the reason many of these hedge funds have betted that these stocks will go down is due to the poor economic outlook for these stocks in the short term, or just the poor fundamentals of these stocks in general. So just be aware of that if you're thinking about investing into any of these shorted stocks. The reason they're shorted is usually because they're not very good stocks.
Tamagotchi's about to be to the moon.
They don't have a stock.
They don't have a stock, then who did I give my $68,000 to?
But this also can happen to other companies which can turn around and actually prove the short sellers wrong. Example, Tesla. So before I dive into my list of around 10 to 15 heavily shorted stocks for 2021, if you're new around here, why not consider joining the investing family by hitting that subscribe button and turning that notification bell on. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back to the community. Feel free to give this video an early thumbs up. That really helps out tremendously with the YouTube algorithm. If you guys want to know exactly which stocks I'm buying, which stocks I'm selling, including gaining access to my entire investment portfolio, then feel free to check out that first link in the description below for the VIP membership group. With that being said, let's just dive into it. So firstly, what is a short squeeze? Well, a short is when you bet on a stock going down. And a short squeeze is basically when this stock tends to rise, the people who have shorted the stock then have to buy in the stock in order to cover that position for safety. Thus, this causes the stock to continually rise and more people have to keep buying in and buying in and buying in, thus creating a short squeeze. And this is why we saw crazy gains on stocks such as GameStop, which went up from here, you can see around $17 per share, and it went up by around 1,700%, and then it did plummet massively as Robinhood shut the whole operation down, which was obviously wrong, but I got into that in a previous video, so check that video out if you want more information on that side of things. But let's go into the heavily shorted stocks of 2021, some more potential opportunities for a short squeeze. So firstly, stock number one, we've got GameStop, which I just mentioned, 121% short interest. Now firstly, that did confuse a lot of people because how can you have more short interest than actual shares available? So that's actually quite wrong there to have over 100% of the shares actually shorted. So that's completely crazy. So that was a major short interest. Year-to-date return 422%. That's just in 2021. It actually is up around 2,000% before it obviously crashed down. Dillard's is the next one. That is a short interest of 95%. This is one which I've not seen anybody talking about. So if you guys are into shorting, short squeezes, and you want to check this out, then Dillard's is right there. Year-to-date return 40%. It's quite funny, really. These are the worst stocks in the industry. That's why they're heavily shorted. Yet they're returning fantastic returns for investors due to this whole short squeeze. AMC Entertainment, we know about AMC, all their cinemas are shut. Thus, in the short term, the economic outlook for the business is quite bad. They have a 79% short interest. Year-to-date return, 289%. Crazy, you can't make this stuff up. Virgin Galactic, now this is an interesting one. So I actually think Virgin Galactic could be an interesting long-term play, but I'm not personally invested into the company myself due to, I think there's a lot of volatility in this stock. Chamath also sold a large portion of his shares, which I did not like because he's one of the original venture capitalists into Virgin Galactic. I believe he was the sponsor for Virgin Galactic, and yet he sells his shares. So to me, that just seems completely wrong. If he's selling his shares, then he knows about the business a lot more than us retail investors. So that's why it's shorted, 72% short interest. Year-to-date return, though, 109%. So if you're a short-term investor, a short-term trader, then these are the type of stocks you may want to look out for. If you're a long-term investor, then what you want to be looking for with these type of stocks is an information edge. So sometimes short sellers do get it wrong, and they do get it wrong quite a lot. So if you find extra information, for example, that a company might have got something wrong, then that can be a potential investment. Fubo TV, 72% short interest. Year-to-date return, 100% again. Bed Bath & Beyond. Now, this is one which could be a potential turnaround play. So they've recently had a vibrant new management team for the business. They've recently revamped their whole stores. So they're really pushing a lot of new features for this company to actually revamp it and bring it into the 21st century. So the short interest in this is 65%, year-to-date return 41%, but Bed Bath & Beyond could definitely be one to watch as a potential contrarian play, a turnaround investment. So be sure to check that stock out. Lingan Pharmaceuticals, short interest 65%, 75% year-to-date return. This is just crazy, these returns. If you had a basket and literally of these stocks just for the year, of the past 2 months, you would have had major returns. It's absolutely crazy. National Beverage Corp, 63% short interest, 44% year-to-date return. Okay, so there's an interesting stock here, another interesting one, SunPower. This has a 58% short interest, 73% year-to-date return. So it seems very interesting that a stock in the renewable energy sector, which is a bullish sector, there's a lot of tailwinds behind this industry right now, especially solar, has been heavily shorted. So that's extremely interesting. So let's dive into a few more details with this stock. So SunPower is a solar energy company, and it designs solar panels based on an all-back contact solar cell invented at Stanford University. So this company is majority owned by Total and is publicly traded as SPWR. So if you guys want to check this company out, it was established in 1985. As you can see, it was shorted, but the stock has run up by 295%. So in an industry, I'm very bullish on the solar industry, but not all these solar companies will make it, must be stated. So let's dive into Stockopedia here. This is a stock research platform I use quite regularly. So the stock rank is just 35 out of 100. Momentum is 78, so there's a lot of momentum behind the stock, obviously, as it's shorted. People are Redditors are getting on it and thinking, okay, let's invest into this stock and pump it up. Value 37, quality just 6. So price of sales for this company is 6, which is okay. It's not great. So it's not really great value right now. Balance sheet 1.14. It's not too bad. Generally, I look for at least 1.5 to 2. So 1.1 is not too bad. Profitable. It's sort of been in and out of profitability. This year, 2020, it seemed to have been hit and wasn't profitable for 2020. Perhaps that's why it was shorted. Sales did decline by -3%. So yes, there has been no growth in this company, which is not great. -9% growth over the past 3 years. So this has been a declining business, which is why it was heavily shorted. 4 sell, 9 hold, 2 buy, 1 strong buy. So people here from Deutsche Bank, Goldman Sachs, all over. So as you can see, there's more on the sort of sell and hold side, and that's why this is called contrarian trading, contrarian investing, because you're betting against the consensus. But really, the smart way of doing this is to find out more information about this company and see if there's a potential information edge. There's something that Wall Street has overlooked. So interesting one to check out. This is one which could potentially work. It's in the solar industry, so generally a rising tide lifts all boats. So the rising tide of the solar industry should lift the majority of companies in that industry. But yeah, more details. Yeah, I recommend you guys research this stock a bit deeper if you're after a potential short squeeze in the solar industry. Okay, next one is Tanga Factory Outlets, 52% short interest, 32% year-to-date return. So quite interesting stocks there for you guys to check out. Now, an interesting one on here I want to show you guys as well is Apple. So actually the short interest on Apple has increased quite a lot. Now, I don't think Apple is really a candidate for a short squeeze because the market cap of this company is so large. But it's in this article here. Apple's market cap stands at 2.2 trillion. So although it does have quite a large short interest, which has increased by 1.65 billion to 14.18 billion in the past 30 days, I don't think Apple is really a major candidate for a short squeeze. I did mention Apple a while back and the fact that this company was doing a heap load of share buybacks over the past few years in order to boost their stock price. So their growth has not really been fully organic, and that is why I didn't increase my shares in Apple. Although I do think it's a fantastic company in general, it just takes a lot to move the revenues for this company given the company's size. Now, I do think that AirPods have been majorly successful.
Oh, I can't hear you. No, they cancel the noise. Oh, you're not talking? Well, even if you were talking, I wouldn't be able to hear you.
They're also working on a few other new products, and they've even announced an Apple car. So there's a lot of sort of new things this company is working on, but still I just feel there are better opportunities out there in smaller cap stocks which potentially work with companies like Apple. Okay, so with all these stocks I've mentioned on this list, there's actually two ways that you can play them. So the first way is to go long on the stock, which is just to buy the stock normally, hoping that the short sellers are wrong and a potential short squeeze occurs. I recommend checking the technicals or at least looking for a fundamental information edge before doing this. Another way you could actually play these stocks is if they are heavily shorted, you could also just short them as well, because if they're heavily shorted, they're shorted for a reason, and the reason is a lot of these hedge funds have done a lot of research into these stocks and they found quite a few reasons for the stock price to decline. So then you could potentially short the stock as well and gain from that possibly. So there's two ways to actually play all these stocks I've mentioned on this list. So just something for you guys to think about. If you like these quick update videos, feel free to comment your thoughts below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Also, if you know of any other interesting stocks right now, love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. If you guys did find any value in this video at all, feel free to give it a big thumbs up. That helps out tremendously with the YouTube AI. If you're new around here and you still haven't subscribed, feel free, hit that subscribe button, turn that notification bell on. If you do want to know exactly which stocks I'm buying, which stocks I'm selling in real time and access my entire investment portfolio, you can even talk to me directly about your own investing portfolio and investing decisions, then check out that first link in the description below for the VIP membership group. You'll also be joining a fantastic community of investors. And with that being said, I hope you guys have an incredible day, and I'll see you all in my next video. Invest safe.